guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Jasmine from Sweet Simple Vegan, and today I'm going to be taking you grocery shopping and showing you a little bit of our grocery haul, actually all of our grocery haul. So we just returned from a trip. We were gone for about 2 weeks and our kitchen was a little scarce when we got back, so we needed to re-up on a ton of grocery items. We needed to get some stuff for recipes we're making this week for future YouTube videos. And I thought it'd be fun for us to show you, or for me to show you what I got. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you aren't already subscribed. Hit that bell if you want post notifications for all of our new videos that go live every single week. We post videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, randomly on Mondays sometimes, if you guys saw our video the other day. And what else do I gotta say? I think that's it. Yeah, so let's go shopping.
Outfit of the day. Wow.
Alright, so the first thing, just wanted to show you really quick. So I always make a list on my phone, and I separate it based on the section that the things are in the grocery store, just so that I know, or just to make it easier for me to shop. So I'm not like going from one end to the other end of the grocery store and back kind of thing. It really saves a lot of time, and it helps when Chris and I split up when we grocery shop, because he can just cover one section and then I can get the other section, and we leave in like 10 minutes. So yeah. So I'm grabbing a few peppers, brought our own bag.
That's crazy.
Ooh, I caught it.
Wow.
Ooh. So I'm just gonna get probably one of each. Should be good. I like the variation in color for our recipes. It's not really a particular reason, but I think it looks pretty. So I'm gonna get those.
Card can.
Huh?
Card can.
Cart can. These are really tiny. I want to make burritos.
We can get them at Chuck's too.
I guess this should be fine. We can just make smallish ones.
Smallish.
You know?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah. We need the biggest leaves we can get. So collard greens are really good to make wraps with. I mean, you could cook them down too, but if you like cut off the stem, you can use it in place of a tortilla. That's cool. Show the icing. Got it. What else do we need? I gotta keep checking. What did I just get? Colors, cilantro. Alright, celery. We need tomatoes. Ooh.
We need the tofu, right?
Yes. So, they sell ready-to-eat sesame ginger tofu. And this is a good thing if you like need
Super
something
easy.
quick.
Good. I
Yeah,
love
it's
this
good
stuff.
with rice and wraps and burritos.
Ooh, can we get this one too?
Oh, you love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh basil. It's a plant.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make this last this time and not kill the plant.
Good luck.
Alright, tomatoes. We need to get a few. I'll just grab these guys. I'm just gonna grab a few. We need avocado.
Oh, it's all conveniently in the same place.
And garlic. Onions. Where's the, oh. I don't know if they're ripe.
There's some over here too.
Oh, okay, let's check over there. They don't look right.
These are huge.
I know, these are like giant. They're still not ripe though. They're not gonna ripen by tomorrow. Well, I guess we're not having avocados because we need them for a recipe tomorrow. So grab some corn, and I'm also gonna grab a few of these guys. These make great snacks. Great back to school snacks.
Are we going back to school?
I think so. I don't know. Are we?
Hell no. Stay in school, kids.
I kind of wish I was still in school.
Do you? I don't.
Like, I want to, I don't know, I like want to do homework and stuff. Is that weird?
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to like kill myself and study.
Hell no.
Okay, produce list is done. My ears still popped. Except for avocado, we just gotta figure that out. So now we're gonna move to these guys.
1850, remember that.
Yeah, I'll take a picture.
It lasts longer.
Yeah, since we bring our own bags, and also this has directions on it, what I like to do is just take a photo, so that when we're checking out we have that, and we don't have to use the twist tie things.
Thanks.
This is enough, I'm like concerned.
Oh look, it's you.
It's me. You guys, did you know I was named after rice?
It's brown rice Jasmine.
It's not true. Okay.
You were named after the Disney princess.
I don't know, honestly. I never really asked where my name came from. All I know is my dad picked it.
Oh, Miguel.
My mom wanted to name me Caitlin.
Imagine. With a C or a K?
I think it was a C. It was gonna be spelled like Caitlin from my goal, but with a Y. I think it was C-A-I-T.
With a Y.
L-Y-N, I know.
With 2 I's and a W.
A silent Q.
Quaitlin.
I don't think we need that much of this rice, actually.
What's this for?
Spanish rice. Make some. Homemade Spanish rice.
There's just something about all this pasta that makes me feel happy.
All right, so I'm going to dive into our grocery haul and talk to you guys about each of the items, tell you what we'll be doing with them, give you some ideas for what you can do with the produce items. We got mostly produce items today. But another thing I want to chat about before we get started is budgeting, the frequency of our grocery shopping trips, staples in our household, that sort of thing. So number one is budgeting. We're always asked how much we spend on groceries per week, what our budget is per week, and that sort of thing. So with us, it's a little tricky. We don't really have a set number that we follow every single week because of the work we do, the videos we make, the recipes we make for our website. It honestly varies from week to week. So there are some weeks where we spend a lot less, and there are some weeks where we spend a lot more. So honestly, it just depends on what recipes we're making, how much work we'll be doing that week, how many videos we're filming, that sort of thing. So I feel like in terms of budgeting and our grocery lists and just our shopping habits in general, we don't really have like normal habits, I guess. So I don't really have a direct answer for that question. I'm sorry if that's not helpful, but that's another reason why I don't really talk about our grocery budget weekly, that sort of thing, because it honestly just depends. I feel like that's my answer. It depends. Another thing is frequency of shopping. So sometimes we do one grocery trip for the whole week, and other times we do multiple during the week. So that honestly it comes down to how organized and prepared we are in terms of our life and our work. We're trying to get ahead of ourselves and our work, and we're trying to be prepared for the week and go grocery shopping at the start of the week so that we don't have to go during the week. But with work, sometimes like, oh my gosh, we forgot this ingredient, or oh no, this ingredient went bad. We need it right now to make the video, make the recipe, yada yada yada. So it honestly depends. I don't remember the third thing. I guess, the third thing I think I said was the items we buy. And again, the items we buy does vary from week to week, but I will mention some staples that we do have on a regular basis. And also we have a pantry tour and a fridge tour that I will link down below. And in those, we also talk about things we have on a normal basis. So I'll talk about the items here specifically and what we have generally. So let me just dive into our whole grocery haul. This box is Imperfect Produce. Does it say Imperfect Produce? It says, we grew up together. 1 in 5 fruits and veggies grown in the US don't meet the strict cosmetic standards of grocery stores, often causing them to go to waste. So Imperfect Produce is basically a grocery delivery service. It used to just be produce, but now they have groceries, where they sell products that were essentially going to go to waste, that they saved and helped prevent waste, and they created a company out of it, and it's really awesome. So I'm going to read you this thing I pulled up on my phone. It says, fact, 20 billion pounds of fruits and veggies go to waste on farms every year, oftentimes because they don't live up to cosmetic standards of grocery stores. So they would literally just throw away fruits and veggies because, yeah, they didn't meet cosmetic standards and they thought the consumer would not purchase those items. For example, let me pull out. So this is a pretty typical carrot. It's a little crooked, but I feel like it's pretty normal. An imperfect one is this baby right here, if you can see. It is very interesting, but I like this guy. So these sort of produce items would be tossed. So Imperfect Produce is helping reduce waste in that sense. And from the start of their company, they saved 40 million pounds of food, 1.2 billion gallons of water, 3 million pounds of food have been donated, and 110 million pounds of carbon dioxide have been saved. So I love supporting this company, and it's really cool what they are trying to do or what they are doing, what their goal is, what their mission is, and they have a lot of good things. So they have organic and non-organic, and they also have grocery items now, so you can purchase a lot of things through them. So we get some grocery items from Imperfect Produce, and what we get in our box depends on what's available. It depends on what we're craving, what we want. It depends on what deals there are. If there are any deals, I'll mention something in here when I go through it. And also it'll depend on the recipes we're making during the week. So we get them every 2 weeks, and I didn't know exactly what recipes we were going to be making because we were traveling and I didn't fully plan 3 weeks ahead. So I just picked items in here that we would eat on a normal basis, kind of basic items that we can figure out what to, like, something to do with these produce items. I feel like I said items like 20 times in that sentence. So first thing is kale. You could do many things with kale, but generally speaking, we make smoothies, salads, trying our best, and also kale chips. So kale chips are really easy to make at home. If you buy them at the store, sometimes they're super expensive, and we actually put out a kale chip recipe on our blog within the last couple months, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend you check it out. I think it's pesto. Is it pesto kale chips? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Ranch.
Oh, okay. So it's a ranch style kale chip, and yeah, it's really easy to make with some fresh ingredients at home. Next up, I got a cucumber, and actually this inspired one of the recipes we're gonna be making this week. So we are making some sushi sandwiches, and basically it's kind of like a giant sushi roll that's like handheld and you eat it like a sandwich. And in it I'm just putting basic things like sesame tofu, avocado, cucumber, sushi rice, that sort of thing, carrots. So this is gonna be going in there. Zucchini. I love zucchini, roasted, sauteed. You can also steam zucchini, put it in smoothies, and it's actually, you can't even taste it. And Barry really loves zucchini, so we usually just either steam or roast zucchini for him and just put it in his food, and he loves it. All right, we got some broccoli. Broccoli, I just steam it, eat it, honestly. I'm not really doing anything special with it, or I don't have anything planned. But if you want an awesome recipe to make with broccoli, we do have a broccoli cheddar soup on the blog that has been a hit. It's honestly one of the most popular recipes on our website, and I think for good reason. I worked really hard on it. It was inspired by the Panera broccoli cheddar soup that I used to love when I was in high school. But I think that with this one, because Chris and I are getting more into healthy eating, and we really want to better our habits, probably just gonna steam some veggies and have that in like Buddha bowls. We got some chickpea pasta. There are a lot of gluten-free pastas on the market nowadays. Barilla has one. There is, why can't I remember the name? Oh, Bonsai. And this one's made with one ingredient, it's chickpeas. And this was actually a deal that Imperfect had. I usually don't get grocery items from Imperfect, but this one, I think it was $1 or even less than $1. I don't know why. It might have been like a bulk item that they had that for some reason the company wasn't gonna be using anymore, and they sold it to them wholesale and they were able to sell it cheap, that sort of thing. I don't know the exact thing. Another thing I forgot to mention was Imperfect, when you're purchasing the produce online, it tells you why they have the produce on their website. So like, pretty sure this one was just like the appearance of the carrot. Some of them are too big, some of them are too small, cosmetically damaged, that sort of thing. So, ooh, look, Chris. Ooh. These are definitely imperfect carrots. I love it. So, a lot of the times when we get our imperfect produce box, the stuff looks pretty normal to me. So whenever we get stuff like that, I get really excited. One time we got a potato and it really looked like a, what's the term I can use? In Tagalog, it's a ekpek. But I'll just put it on the screen for you guys to see. Got some dates for my matcha lattes, onions, cucumbers, some plums, and sweet potatoes. I actually took a look at these sweet potatoes and they are definitely imperfect. Get ready for this, oh my God. We got some green onions. These are good on salads. You could put this in soup. You can also saute these. I actually made a recipe from Liv B. So Liv has a cookbook called Vegan on a Budget, and there's awesome recipes in it. We actually did a video making one of her recipes, and it had some green onions in it. So I'll link that video down below for you guys to check out, and you can also check out her cookbook. We got some potatoes, and you can do a lot of different things with potatoes. One of my favorite things to do with these potatoes, specifically the Yukon Golds, is to make breakfast potatoes. And we have an easy recipe on our blog where basically you just put everything onto a baking sheet, pop it into the oven, mix it halfway through, and you got yourself some crispy breakfast potatoes. And you can make a big batch of that and have it throughout the week. I need to find a place to put all this. Next, got some apples. And honestly, apples and peanut butter is my jam, and that's like my go-to snack every day now. I freaking love it. But another thing is you can obviously eat these apples plain. But we also have a date caramel sauce recipe on our website that you can make a snack out of. You can cut these apples, dip it into the caramel, kind of like a healthy apples and caramel. It's really good. Avocados. So I was looking for avocados at the store, but that is because these are not ripe yet. And usually when these arrive, the avocados aren't ripe yet, because if they were, they would get smashed in the box. But avocado, I mean, who doesn't love avocado? Actually, I know a few people who don't like avocado. My dad doesn't really care for them. He'll eat it, but I think he's crazy. You can do a lot of different things with avocado. We're going to be putting these again in the sushi sandwiches that I mentioned earlier. You could put them in Buddha bowls. You could put them on soup, kind of like, oh, these go well on tortilla soup. We have a vegan tortilla soup recipe. Oh, lemons. You can do a lot of different things with lemons. Put it in your water in the morning. Drizzle it on top of your food for lunch or dinner. Give it a little oomph. Oh, cool. There is a pasta recipe builder in our box. And, oh, it gives you a recipe. That's really cool. And lastly, onions. I feel like we always have so many onions in this house, but we use onions for everything. I love onions and garlic. So we are actually going to be putting together a few recipes this week, and one of those is my mom's sweet simple beans recipe. So basically, I'm gonna talk about it later too, because I got some black beans. It's black beans, an onion, and some vegetable broth. You put it in a pressure cooker and you have perfect beans. Let's move on to the stuff that I bought at the actual store. This is a fun video, I think. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's dive in here. I guess we'll start from your left to your right. Is that kind of how it's gonna be? I don't know. I'm gonna start on this side. I don't remember how it goes when I put these videos up. Okay, so first off, bread. Plain and simple. We love making sandwiches, making toast in the morning. And Dave's Killer Bread, we love their bread. They have a bunch of different kinds. This one is their 21 whole grains and seeds, and this one's their thinly sliced white bread done right. So this one also has whole grains. It says super grains too. It has quinoa, spelt rye, millet, and barley. So when we get packs of bread, we actually just immediately stick them into the freezer because they are already sliced. If they're not, you can, I guess, slice it at home, or you can probably get it sliced at the bread counter or the deli counter at your market if they do that. Because this way we just pull out slices of frozen bread, pop them into the toaster and eat them, and it's super convenient. If we left them on the counter, I think they would mold because we don't get to them that fast. Chris does eat a lot of sandwiches, but not that many sandwiches. So, next up, this one's just a fun little item that we wanted to get because they're really good. These Gardein 7-grain crispy tenders, and we just keep these in the freezer, toast them up whenever we want. And this is a really, really good vegan chicken tender substitute, and kids love this. I can tell you myself, my mom has made these for my little cousins before and they gobbled them up. They had no idea. This brand is Gardein. They make a ton of vegan meat substitutes. They make vegan meals. Does Gardein have anything else, babe? It's like frozen meat substitutes, vegan meals. Anything else? That's really it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know about Gardein, or if you're like new to veganism, or if you want to try something new, recommend it. Got some russet potatoes. These we usually use for like baked potatoes, which is really easy, just pop them into the oven. I think we actually have a baked potato recipe on the blog. Also, Barry loves these potatoes, so we actually got these to cook for him. Same with the zucchini, we either steam it or we roast it. We cut them up into small pieces because he's a small little guy. He actually prefers his food to be chopped. Sometimes he won't eat it and then I chop it and then he'll eat it. I don't know if that's him being spoiled, but that's Barry. Next up, I got some grapes, and these are red grapes. Just for snacking, it is also going to be in one of our videos. You guys will see it very soon. Bento boxes for school or work, and I'm just going to be including this as one of the snacks in those boxes. Also, if you like cold things, you can actually freeze grapes and eat them as a snack, if you didn't know that. Roasted seaweed. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be making seaweed, or we're going to be making sushi sandwiches. But another thing is, if you don't want to roll up your sushi, you can actually make a sushi casserole, which is a recipe we also have on our website. It's really easy to make. Basically, you put all the components of sushi into a casserole dish, and then with nori, we like to cut it up into fours. And we basically just put a little bit of the casserole in it and eat it, kind of like a hand roll, like that's open. So much easier than making sushi, and it's still really good. Getting into more produce, we got some corn, and I'm actually going to be roasting this corn and putting it into some tacos we're going to be making. I'm making some collard tacos, which is what I got these collard greens for. If you didn't know, you can use collards for tortillas. You can use it in place of tortillas. It's really easy to do. It does have a thick stem though. So what you have to do is use a knife to cut along the stem and remove as much of it as you can without breaking the collard. You can roll up whatever you want in the burrito. We're going to be doing rice, beans, some roasted corn, other fun things in it, and it's going to be part of our meal prep video. Next up, we got some baked tofu. So this one's actually a sesame ginger tofu, and you can buy plain tofu at the store and season it yourself. But this is just an easy thing to have in the refrigerator if you don't have time to marinate or prepare your tofu, or if you just don't want to do it. They have a bunch of different flavors. So we got the smoked tofu and the sesame ginger tofu. And the smoked tofu, we honestly just got to have in the house and eat whenever we need like a protein with one of our meals. And the sesame ginger is actually, again, going in the sushi sandwiches. Bell peppers are great for a bunch of different things. I'm going to be using it for our Spanish rice that we're going to be making for the blog. It adds flavor, it adds texture, it adds color. And another thing that it's really good for is just snacking. So you can just slice these guys up and dip them into hummus or whatever dip you want. And they make good replacements for like chips or crackers or any other processed type of food that you usually dip into hummus or dip. I love using bell peppers. They're more fresh, and I got 3 different colors to eat more colors, and also because they're really pretty. All right, we got some tomatoes, and I'm going to be, again, using these for those collard burritos that I was talking about. Also really good in sandwiches. I'm sure most of you know. Oh my God, I just dropped one. Dang it.
Did it break?
No, oh my gosh, that was scary. All right. We got some oranges, and I just got these basically to snack on. I love having fresh fruit in the house to encourage us to eat more fruits for snacks instead of the chips and whatever we have in our pantry. If you have seen our pantry tour, you know we have a lot of snacks. Chris actually works for a company where he curates their vegan snack box. They're called Vegan Cuts if any of you guys are interested. It's basically a delivery service where, I'm gonna plug Vegan Cuts right now. It's a delivery service where you get a box full of snacks every single month. They also have a beauty box too where you get beauty products, but they send you full or sample sizes of different vegan products to try before you buy, sort of thing. You get a good deal on the box. The value of the products is always more than the box itself that you pay for, so it's pretty cool. With that, we get a lot of snacks to sample, and so our pantry's a little crazy. We do give a lot to friends and family, but it's just like never ending. Got some fresh berries, and I just got these to snack on, and that's basically it. You can use berries for a lot of different things. We actually also have a Chia Jam Recipe that is on our website, and basically you can cook down berries with some coconut sugar and some chia seeds, lemon juice. I think that's all that's in it. And you can make a jam. You can use whatever sugar you want. We chose to use coconut sugar. You can also leave sugar out. You can use monk fruit if you want. And it's a really good alternative to store-bought jam. It's super easy to make. There's no canning necessary. And it's really good on toast. But again, I just got these to snack on. We got some Edamame Pods, and we just keep these frozen in the freezer for whenever we want something. I keep saying snack on, but whenever we want something to snack on that's not chips or stuff in our pantry. Celery, I love putting celery into juices, but I got these specifically for dipping into the hummus along with peppers. Not anything crazy with the celery, but celery is great if you want to add it to some of the things you saute along with onions and garlic and carrots to bring more flavor to your dishes, but I primarily use it to a snack. Right? Cilantro. Cilantro is great. I'm glad I'm not one of the people that think it tastes like soap. My brother is, and bless him, but it's so good. I put it in whatever I can. There was one time actually when I was living with my parents so I would buy groceries sometimes for the blog, and then my mom would buy groceries sometimes on the way home from work, and we wouldn't really communicate with each other. So there was one time we somehow ended up with 3 bundles of celery, and we're like, what do we do? Like, there's only so much guacamole and salsa that we can make. And so my mom and I one night enjoyed an almost entirely cilantro salad. It was really good, but I'm not gonna do that again. But I got this because I'm gonna be putting it in our burritos, and also be putting it in salads and guacamole and whatever other fun things we make during the week, but it's just something really good and fresh to have. Basil. Basil's great. For one thing, we keep it outside of the fridge. If you didn't know, it helps keep it green. It turns black in the refrigerator because it's way too cold for the basil. We actually got one of the living basil, so it's a plant. You just put it in water and it actually stays fresher longer, which is great. And if you can take really good care of it, I think we can plant it, but I need to talk to my mom because my mom really knows how to take care of these things, and I always kill them, so I'm probably gonna call her. We use basil for a number of different things. Pesto, we actually have a nut-free pesto recipe on our blog that I'm actually gonna be making this with because I'm making some pesto pasta. And we also have an avocado pesto if you are interested in something like that. It's really good in homemade marinara, which Chris's mom taught us how to make, and we have that recipe on our website also. Our pasta fagioli, how do you say it, babe? Pasta fagioli. It's really good in that as well, and that's actually a recipe I highly recommend you try out. It's basically pasta and beans. It's like a little soupy, and you eat it with crusty Italian bread, and it's just one of my favorite things. Thank you, Chris's mom and dad. Shout out to them for helping us with that recipe because it's really good. Onions and garlic. I talked about onions earlier. Garlic, self-explanatory. I just love garlic and everything. Sometimes we put it in our juice too for an extra kick. So next up I have some canned tomato sauce, and I purchased this to put together some Spanish rice with. I'm actually going to be experimenting in the kitchen and making some Spanish rice for the burritos. Sorry, the camera stopped. But what I was saying, I'm making Spanish rice with this tomato sauce this week, and adds color, flavor. It's really good. You guys check that out. The recipe will be linked down below, hopefully, if this video comes out after it. Garbanzo beans. So We like to keep canned beans in our pantry just in case. So if there's, like, again, I was talking about earlier, if there's nights where we just don't have time to cook, we're lazy, we don't know what to make, we like to keep canned beans, already made tofu. We usually have some sort of grain cooked in the fridge because we give it to berries, like rice, quinoa, couscous, whatever we get, we'll eat. These are our bonzo beans. We actually got to make some homemade hummus. Also, we give berries and beans as well, so this comes in handy with that too. We have some avocado oil, and we choose to cook with avocado oil because it's a high heat oil, so it won't go bad at high temperatures when we cook. And it's a high quality oil. We don't use it that often, but we got the spray version as well, just in case we ever need it for like crisping up tofu or just any specific recipe. And the brand on this is Chosen Foods. We get this at our local Winco. It's not too bad in price. They do sell a larger bottle at Costco. I'm not sure if it's this specific brand. I didn't know when we were gonna go to Costco next, so I just made sure to pick one of these up. Lasts a really long time because we don't use too much of it in our day-to-day lives. Lastly, let's get into the bulk section. I got a bunch of things here. So first off, got some black beans. And I talked about this earlier. We're gonna be making our sweet simple beans recipe on our website. Basically, we're gonna be soaking the beans overnight. When you soak the beans before you cook them, it actually, for one thing, cooks faster, but it also makes them so much easier to digest. So if you need help with cooking beans, I definitely recommend you check out our recipe. Next up, we have some sushi rice, and guess what I'm making with this? The sushi sandwiches that I talked about a million times. What else we got? Lentils. So we got these lentils for Barry. Barry really likes lentils and mung beans and chickpeas. We actually make his food, and we give him variation of grains, beans, vegetables every single week. We make a big batch at the start of the week and then we feed it to him. So this week we're gonna be making him some lentils. And then lastly, we have some long grain white rice, and this is going to be for our Spanish rice recipe that I mentioned. So yeah, this is all of the grocery items that we have for, I would say the week, but maybe a little more than a week because we have other things in the house already that we're gonna be like combining with these things. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way. My apologies for being a little stuffy. After traveling, I always get a little sick. And I don't feel sick anymore, but I just feel a little like congested, or I sound congested, I should say. So I don't know if you can tell by my voice. I feel a little weird. Chris is just chilling over there watching the baseball game while I film our video.
What up, everyone?
So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you love this video or like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below if you aren't subscribed. Leave us a comment, say hey, whatever you want to say, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.